Welcome to Fake Presidents, a real podcast about, well, you know.
Each episode will take a deep dive into a fictional American president from pop culture to see just how much fiction there really is. I'm Eric Buckman, a former political consultant. That was a long time ago. Should I even keep saying that?
You're still former.
Yeah.
That didn't change.
It's like 5 careers ago. Who's now currently a TV writer, producer, but also not even just TV anymore. Like I'm doing like podcasts and audio dramas.
You have evolved so much since this podcast began, Eric. And I'm Ben Oren, a former journalist, sometimes speechwriter, and all-the-time TV producer.
And this weekend is President's Day weekend!
Woohoo!
In honor of the holiday, we're going to do something that we have kind of made a little tradition here now, the last 2 or 3 years in a row. And that is, we're going to go explore different realms of what it means to be a fake president.
Yeah, we're not going to watch a movie. I mean, it's like a break for us. We're not going to watch a movie.
Last year, Ben and I, we decided to figure out which movie franchises needed a fake president.
Yes.
And in fact, quick follow-up to that, one of the franchises that we mentioned in that episode is going to have a fake president in it.
Wait, is President Ford Durango going to be in Fast X?
No, it was not one of the ones we actually picked, but it got mentioned in the discussion. Remember when you were describing the Fast and the Furious franchise? And you tried to make me guess what it was? You talked about how it morphed over the years and turned in from one genre to another genre, and the cast got bigger and whatever. It became very stunt-focused and so forth. And I guessed, you're talking about the Mission Impossible franchise.
Oh, yes.
And you said, no, it's the Fast and Furious franchise. And I'm like, yeah, they oddly paralleled each other in certain ways. They each took a hard pivot into a very specific type of filmmaking around their third or fourth entry. Fourth or fifth entry? The Mission Impossible franchise, I heard Nick Offerman on a podcast kind of let slip that he's playing a high-ranking government official in scenes with a presidential character.
I thought we were going to get Nick Offerman as the president, which would be awesome.
No. He used the pronoun she to describe the president, so I think we're going to get a lady president in one of the next 2 Mission Impossible movies currently being filmed.
Actually, you don't know it's a lady president. It could be Ethan Hunt wearing one of his fancy masks.
Oh, yeah, he could be. But he's still...
You're telling me he's definitely will have to impersonate the female president to get into the White House. That has to be a plot point, right? He has to do a wheelie. He's doing a wheelie off of a jet plane, and Tom Cruise lands on top of the White House, puts on his little mask, little push-up bra, does what he needs to do. Yeah,
because I'm sure the Church of Scientology will be totally okay with that.
Well, they might already actually have pictures of him like that.
Anyway, before we get into our main course today, do you have any news?
Yeah, well, I do. There's talking about movies that are going to have fake presidents, a huge universe of many universes now. It just announced that they're going to introduce a new fake president to its world. In previous movies, as we actually covered the fake president in Marvel's Iron Man 3, President Matthew Ellis.
Played by William Sadler.
Billy Saddles, as we call him when he comes over for poker. But no, he will no longer be the president in this world. Probably because that was a long time ago. That makes sense.
First off, that movie came out in 2012, 2013?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I have no idea what year it is in the MCU, but I'm guessing roughly at least 10 years have passed. But yeah, he was president in that movie, and then he was also in, we didn't really talk about it because it's not a movie, but he was also in a couple episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and some other ancillary materials. So he was president for a while.
Yes, but he is term limited out. Time for a new president.
Or blipped out?
Blipped out. Maybe he got blipped.
And then they just invoked the 25th Amendment? He's not here?
Unless that guy got blipped. Who knows? Maybe it was like a King Ralph situation for a while.
The Secretary of Education is...
Yeah. Sec Ed here. No, sir, you are no longer Sec Ed. You got the upgrade, buddy.
They haven't heard that episode yet, Ben, the one that you're referencing.
In the future, you guys are going to enjoy that one. So, yes, we have... The new president is going to be a character who's appeared in the movies before. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who appeared in The Hulk, I believe, with
Oh, yeah.
yeah, with Ed Norton's Hulk, not Ang Lee's Hulk. I mean, Ed Norton didn't direct the Hulk, but whatever. But it's not going to be William Hurt because, well, he passed away.
Yes.
So they recasted the role with probably one of the best known actors who've ever played a fake president, Harrison Ford. I'm loving this.
He's Morgan Freemaning it. He gets to play 2 different fake presidents in 2 different franchises now.
Yeah, this is huge. He's actually the third person to play Thunderbolt Ross. Sam Elliott played the role
in the Ang Lee movie. Yes.
Yeah, the Ang Lee.
Yes. Yeah. So you had the Hulk with Sam Elliott as a general. You had the Incredible Hulk, which introduced the William Hurt version, which is still a same character. He's still both a general who hates the Hulk and has a daughter who at one point falls in love with the Hulk.
Who loves the Hulk.
Which makes me wonder, will Liv Tyler, like she's the first daughter, will she be back in any of these future movies?
Or did they recast that as well? Who knows?
Does she get back together with Mark Ruffalo, even though she was never in the movie with Mark Ruffalo? She was in the Edward Norton movie, but still she's a past love interest of the same character. Maybe
that would be so confusing
White House
for her.
wedding?
Maybe we reveal that she has that disease where you don't recognize faces.
Yeah, because now her dad and boyfriend have both changed.
She's like her dad and her boyfriend are both different people.
Yeah, and then I want to know what happens in the MCU because they like to show their older characters younger at various times. Do they do a de-aged William Hurt or a de-aged Harrison Ford if they show like any flashbacks to this character in the future?
Lots of questions. Well, also, the thing is that it's been known for a few months that he was taking over the role, that Harrison Ford was taking over the role, but we did not know that he would be becoming the president of the United States.
Yeah, President Thaddeus Ross. And also, in the comics at least, he becomes a Hulk character himself.
Red Hulk.
The Red Hulk, yes. Which would not be the first time we've covered on this podcast a President Hulk. If you'll recall, from our original President's Day special, SNL Sweet 16 bracket, we did cover The Rock as Obama hulking out in the Oval Office.
That is correct.
The Rock Obama?
Now, no be alarmed. The Rock Obama, much like Barack Obama, only stronger and more impulsive.
I mean, 100%, like, they're definitely, like, CGI-ing the Red Hulk for this. Like, he's gonna be the Hulk, the Red Hulk, right?
Yeah. Oh, those are the days that Harrison Ford probably likes best. Oh, I don't have to be there?
Yeah, perfect. I'll be in my plane, and everybody's like, no, don't go in your plane. Not for your safety, for everybody else's safety. He's a very bad pilot.
I think at this point he just might be old.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what about Shrinking. You watch Shrinking? He's on that, and he is great because you know why? He plays his age.
Yeah, I mean he's working a lot now. I mean it's pure on like the Harrison Fordisance, a Fordisance.
Yeah, well,
like
on TV at least. Yeah,
well,
he's
TV,
doing the Yellowstone spinoff.
Yellowstone spinoff, but then he has the Indiana Jones movie coming out this year. I feel like he hasn't worked that much over the past 5 to 10 years.
And judging by the trailers of the next Indiana Jones movie, he hadn't worked that much in that one either. A lot of digital stand-ins.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I was just excited that he was riding a horse in the subway. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think this is exciting. It's exciting that he's going to be playing the role. I think it's exciting that he's potentially going to be like a superhero as Red Hulk. Do people know that he's Red Hulk? Like, I think would this give the U.S. like a huge advantage in like negotiating treaties? Like, if he's talking with Putin, like, hey, don't make me angry, is like a great one to pull when he wants something.
Yeah, and if he's the Red Hulk, does that mean that we now know what party he is?
Exactly.
So look for Harrison Ford as definitely the president and maybe the Red Hulk in the next Captain America movie, Captain America, New World Order.
But then he's also in charge, right? Because then there's going to be the Thunderbolts movie, which is like MCU's version of Suicide Squad. So, and he'll be in that also, I would assume.
Yeah, he's probably signed to a 10-year deal.
That's pretty cool, though, to have like a whole like organization named after you. Like, pretty ballsy.
Well, after your nickname, because he's Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
I know, still, but even like, there's not like the old. There was never. I don't think there was ever a group called like the Old Hickories.
Typical news.
The great. Oh, look at. Uh-oh, you don't want to mess around because the great communicators are going to be showing up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, at one point during the Clinton White House, they brought back the LBJs. It's very. Never mind.
Get off my plane.
Okay, Ben, what's our main course for today?
Well, you tell me. This was the one that it was your brainchild for this.
I was thinking this time we could do fake presidents. Last time we talked about franchises that we thought were missing a fake president. This time we will talk about characters who already exist, fictional characters who already exist in the world, or at least in their own movie and TV and book universes, that we thought, what if they became president in their own timelines? Like,
I actually kind of pitched that last year to a certain extent when we talked about Fast and Furious, when I was like, since Vin Diesel and The Rock don't want to talk to each other anymore, be in scenes with each other anymore, I was like, why don't you make The Rock the president? Make Hobbs president.
So fake presidents is what I'm calling it. And it's an example. It's always good to give the audience an example of what we're talking about that really exists.
Yeah.
And that is something I didn't know, I discovered, is that in the Brady Bunch cinematic universe, they did, the
BBCU?
The ones with Shelley Long as the mother and the
Carol.
father as Carol, and the father his name's Mike, played by Lundberg from Office Space.
Yeah.
The wonderful Gary Cole. They did 2 theatrical movies, and then a third movie that aired on the Fox television network in which Mike Brady becomes president. So what are some other fictional characters who should be given that chance? And so Ben and I each have
A couple.
we run through some options in our head.
Yeah.
We each have one that we centered on as our main one. Like, for example, my first thought was obviously Ernest.
Hey, Vern.
Ernest went to jail.
Ernest
with
goes
the
to the
camp.
White House.
Ernest goes to the White House. The title's already there. The only reason why I went away from Ernest is because obviously in any Ernest-based theatrical film involving the White House, the president is not going to be Ernest. It'll be Vern, clearly.
No, Vern would be like the VP or his chief of staff, because that way he could always go, know what I mean, Vern?
Well, he's also always looking over the fence at Vern. It's like, Vern, check this out, Vern. Look at this, Vern. So I always pictured that maybe Ernest would be the neighbor to the president. I don't know. Anyway, I strayed away from Ernest pretty quickly when I realized that the Vern character might actually have more of a right to be president
But then
Ernest.
you could still, Vern is still a character. You could still, it seems like you just pivoted to a different character.
Pretty much, yes. So I quickly went from Ernest to who's an Ernest-like character, still my childhood, still in the 80s, who you could give the presidency to without worrying about these additional characters who might have a better argument for getting that role.
Yeah.
And so I wound up going with another fictional character from a beloved, I don't even know if you would call him a character actor. He's not really a character actor. He's just like an actor everybody loves who just happens to do some great characters. Martin Short's Ed Grimley.
Okay.
Oh, give me a break. I couldn't be more excited, I must say.
Ed Grimley first appeared on SCTV. Martin Short brought him to Saturday Night Live, and then I think he even has his own Saturday morning cartoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, is he eligible to be president?
That's the problem. In the end,
Don't you know?
he's too Canadian. You can't strip the Canadianness out of that character. Sure, you could write in something that maybe he has he's half Canadian. He was born in Chicago before being brought to Toronto.
His mom gave birth on Niagara Falls, and he came out and landed on the American side. That's his origin story. And then he's trying to find his parents.
Yeah.
He becomes president so that he could really find out who his family is. And then through that discovery, it turns out that he can't be president anymore.
Oh, and he has to resign off of a technicality that shouldn't really be there anyway.
Yeah.
So where did I land?
Where?
Audience, you ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm leaning in.
I decided let's not go for the joke. Let's go for a movie series where by introducing one of the characters becoming president of the United States is like a natural evolution, not to be played for laughs, but to be played for drama and stakes. So I went with Andy from Toy Story.
Andy from Toy Story. Okay.
Yes.
Take me on this journey.
Okay, so basically you have Andy as the president. We already know he parted ways with Woody and his friends decades earlier. We saw him go off to college. He gave them all to Bonnie. And so in this film where he's the president, he has some big summit at the White House, a premiere of Russia coming. There's amidst a brand new Cold War, lots of big, heavy decisions to be made on how to best lead the country into the 22nd century, second half of the 21st century. I don't know how old they are, but into the future. And that's when Woody, off with Little Bo Peep, doing his own thing, That's how Toy Story 4 ended. Spoiler alert. They go off on their own. Sees on TV his old pal, Andy. The whole world literally on his shoulders. And Woody says to Bo Peep, Andy needs me. And Bo Peep says to Woody, no, America needs you.
Oh,
And so Woody has to get back to the White House. Meanwhile,
okay.
because everyone knows Andy loves his toys, a young staffer is sent out to collect all his childhood toys. Goes back to Bonnie's house, where at this point, I guess Bonnie's in college or whatever, 20s, who knows. And so they are able to track down the box of the original toys and take it back to the White House, only to open up and realize Woody's not there. It's just Buzz and all of them. But then what does happen is after Buzz and them wake up in the White House, you know, they are reintroduced to their old friend Woody, except Woody's different this time. Woody has a slight Russian accent.
Uh-oh.
Because the Russians have realized that the way to get to Andy is through his toys, through the childhood memories of his youth, and they've put in a spy Woody, a double agent Woody,
Oh, my goodness.
to get to the president. Maybe to poison him, maybe just to eavesdrop. Who knows? Whatever it is, you pull the cord.
Oh,
and
Tom
instead of-
Hanks would love to do these voices.
or Jim Hanks, his brother, who does a lot of basically anytime you hear Woody's voice not in a movie, it's his brother, like on toys and theme park rides and so forth. But then meanwhile, the real Woody does show up and get there. And so you actually have toy fun in the White House amidst the backdrop of all this like political intrigue and like a spy thriller, you know, whole thing going on. And that's where I landed.
I like
Toy
it.
Story 7.
I'll watch President Andy.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear in the White House. Would we get a cosmonaut on the other side?
Well,
Yes.
sure, why not? Yeah, of course.
That was rhetorical.
My name is Andrew Shepard, and I am the president.
I was thinking of a couple. At first, you know, I was going into the superhero realm. And I was thinking that it's disappointing that in the X-Men universe that there hasn't been any real evolution in thought in terms of having a mutant in higher office. They've had to sneak into office, as we've seen in the previous movies, where Mystique impersonates a senator.
Oh, yeah. And then we also got to see them sneak in wearing just a trench coat and
Yes.
top hat. And
It always works. But I was thinking, like, which mutant would make the best president? And I think it would be the Beast, a.k.a. Dr. Hank McCoy, who is played both by Kelsey Grammer,
Hank McCoy, Secretary of Mutant Affairs.
Right.
and then in the new class series, Nicholas Holt. He's extremely smart. He's a genius, very intimidating. He's also very well-spoken, very trusting. He also has government experience. He advises the president in Last Stand as the Secretary of Mutant Affairs, or I might be getting ahead of myself with this joke. He was known as Sec Mute. But again, like going back to what we were saying about Red Hulk as president, isn't that a great way to negotiate with other countries? Going in as this big, blue, strong mutant who can like fucking rip shit up if necessary, but also understand every aspect of international relations in terms of science. He would make a great president. I think he could bridge the gap. Like, you can't say like the president doesn't have teeth. Like, I think he has sharp teeth. Literally like fangs.
now, here's a question. I mean, he's the first mutant president.
Yeah.
You know, like when JFK ran for presidency to be the first Catholic president, you know,
Exactly.
everyone assumed that a knock against him would be he'd be too beholden to the Pope. Are there any concerns? You elect the Beast, and the person really pulling the strings is Professor X.
Well, I think he would have to be honest with everybody and be like, if Professor X really wants to pull some strings, we have no control over it. He's the most powerful person on Earth with Cerebro. So he would just have to be honest with everybody. But I think, you know, especially as if he's played by Kelsey Grammer, I think he would veer a bit more right of center. So I think even though he's blue,
Quite literally.
I think he would appeal to many people, especially if you were to give that role the heft needed, and I think he could bring everybody together. I think President McCoy, President Beast, or would it be President Doctor McCoy? I don't know what you do when you already have like a good title, but I think President Beast would be pretty great.
He's not a medical doctor, so we already know there's a large contingent of America that would vehemently protest him using the word doctor just because he spent 10 years studying something other than medicine.
That's true. But I think, I was going in that direction. Then I was thinking another series that you could take a la like with the Brady Bunch universe. There's a little universe called the Anchorman cinematic universe that I think could lend itself very nicely to a movie. If you have Ron Burgundy, American president.
I can see that.
And you could see it. You could
not
really
just see that,
see
but
it now. I think even more so now than like when the movie came out almost, about 20 years ago. Like
because isn't that Kari Lake's backstory? She was like a local TV anchor.
Exactly. Who's finally speaking the truth. People love those stories about they're finally speaking the truth. They connect with Americans. Well, like Ron Burgundy. And the thing is, who would he be up against in his re-election campaign? The only person who might be able to beat him, Brick Tamland.
I have no idea who that is. Please refresh my memory.
Steve Carell's character.
Okay, got it.
The dumbest character in the entire world.
Yeah,
might be the only person. Yeah, and it's eventually he has to get the team back together to solve some bigger crisis in the world, and you could have all different anchormen as political leaders around the world. It really opens up those great moments in the movie where the battles happen, the big fights happen, the big wars happen. That could be fantastic.
I mean, that first movie was set in the 70s. Second movie was set in the 80s. So does that mean this third movie is a 90s president, or are you going present day?
I think you have to go 90. You got to make it a 90s movie.
Oh, okay.
It's the dawn of the 24-hour news cycle. Maybe Ron Burgundy made a name for himself on some 24-hour news network covering some war. He spoke some truth by mistake on camera. Yeah. It catapults him into the presidency, which he's not prepared for. He brings his pals. Brian Fontana, played by Paul Rudd, Champ Kind.
I forget. Does the second movie end with him back with Christina Applegate?
I think so. Veronica Corningstone, First Lady. She has her adventures. I think there's a lot you could do in there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the director of those movies, is he interested in doing anything political?
I don't know if Adam McKay likes political stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. If only he would ever talk about politics.
Yeah.
From the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
But that wasn't my favorite one that when I was thinking about it. So this is part of another universe of films. A universe of films that people didn't even know was a universe of films until the second one ended.
So there's at least two.
Yes, there's at least two. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 movies in this universe.
Okay, but we didn't know it was a universe until after the second one.
Correct. The first one came out in the early 2000s. This filmmaker was hailed as a genius, somebody along the lines of Steven Spielberg, the next Steven Spielberg.
Okay, I know where you're going.
And he told his second movie actually was a huge smash, a little movie called The Sixth Sense. But the third movie would be the movie that sort of set off this universe of sorts, Unbreakable. But we don't meet Bruce Willis's character in that again until the end of a movie called Split. And then he brought all the characters together. The Beast character.
That's James McAvoy from Split.
Bruce Willis's
the Unbreakable
Superman,
character.
Unbreakable character.
The security guard?
And Mr. Glass.
Samuel L. Jackson's character from Unbreakable.
In Glass.
That's the 2019 movie called Glass.
And the end of Glass, though, spoiler alert, our 3 main characters, they all die.
Yeah.
And I think for this movie, what it really needed would be a fake president to talk to the nation. Because at the end of the movie, Glass, Samuel L. Jackson's character, lets the world know that superheroes exist.
Yes.
Because this organization led by Sarah Paulson has been trying to keep it known for hundreds of years, thousands of years that superheroes are around. Their mission is to get rid of them. Well, Glass's last evil thing that he does is let the world know that superheroes are around. And this calls for a president to say something to the nation, to calm a nation down. And who should that president be, Eric? Well,
I'm gonna assume it's somebody within a Shyamalan universe already.
Oh, yes. Up to the stage walks President Cole Sear from The Sixth Sense.
Also played by Bruce Willis.
No, that's Haley Joel Osment's character.
Oh, Haley Joel Osment.
Yes.
Guess he's old enough now.
He walks out. He sees dead people. And behind him, we see Glass and Bruce Willis and other Bruce Willis from that. People look alike. That's fine. And you know why he would make a great president? It's very much because he talks to dead people. He could find out what the founders really meant.
Yeah.
With the Bill of Rights. He could be like, people, Thomas Jefferson's right here. He's telling me what's up.
Or it's more like he's walking to the White House and people are like, hey, what does Thomas Jefferson say? It's like, I don't know. There's too many dead slaves around here.
Yes, exactly. I need some quiet. Like when he's standing, he could have his own little picture in front of, arms crossed in front of the JFK portrait. And he's talking to JFK.
Yeah. Yeah. And JFK's like, I don't really stand like that.
Yeah. So I think President Cole Sear, which by the way, I didn't know that the kid's name was Cole Sear. Like, I mean, Shyamalan, Sear. He's a seer.
Well, when you said Cole, I first thought that must be Bruce Willis's character.
No, that's Malcolm, Dr. Malcolm.
Dr. Ian Malcolm?
No, he sees dinosaurs, Dr. Ian Malcolm.
I see extinct creatures.
I see extinct creatures. You know, it's like we all see extinct creatures. We're in Jurassic Park. That's the whole point of it. Ian Malcolm. So I think President Cole Sear being introduced into this M. Night Shyamalan universe, that would have been a fantastic call by him. I can't believe he missed out on that. Like,
it still could happen.
It could still happen. I think he should bring the gang back just to shoot that because, I mean, that would fucking blow people's minds.
Is the First Lady Misha Barton's character from The Sixth Sense?
Possibly.
She's dead, but still, she can still be
she can still be there. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of seeing dead people.
Yeah.
So I think that, or the comedic version would be Whoopi Goldberg's Oda Mae Brown as president. Ghost. But I think that's the president that I would like to see, Haley Joel Osment reprising his Cole character at the end of Glass. That would have been wonderful.
I would love to see that. Let's not step away from Ghost that quickly.
Okay.
Because you know, if Whoopi Goldberg, if that character was running for president, able to have the connection that she has to dead people, she wouldn't run as herself. She'd probably run as a proxy for another dead person.
Yeah.
The same way she was.
They enter her body.
Yeah, the same way Patrick Swayze, she was just a spokesperson, not just a spokesperson for Patrick Swayze, but at one point Patrick Swayze enters her body so that he can hug and kiss Demi Moore. So that's just it though. Like she could run for office and basically like have her pick of like all the dead people who need to be like this is the way for George Washington to get his third term.
Yeah, fine.
No, it'd have to be a one-term president. Who never got a dead one? I don't know, Jimmy Carter.
Well, maybe that's. Look. Here's the thing. I think there's a way. You have the former guys, advisors, being like, "There's one way we figured out to get you back into office, but you might not like it."
It's kind of like Dave a bit.
You gotta die, and then you gotta enter a black woman.
Oh yeah, so you want a racist Southerner then?
Yeah. Or a racist Southerner or a racist New Yorker. I mean, if it's Donald Trump.
I mean, like LBJ was only elected once, so could he technically run for a third time?
Well, if it's as a ghost, then I don't think that. I mean, that would be a constitutional crisis.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. Yeah, because I think technically he was in office long enough for his first term that it technically counts for the whole term. Yeah. No, I like those choices, Ben. I love where you landed. I love your other options. It's a lot to think about. Well, everyone, I hope you had a happy President's Day.
I hope you're still having a happy President's Day.
Mournful? You're supposed to celebrate? Did you buy any furniture, cars? I mean, it's very
You got to help the economy. But are you supposed to help the economy? Is
don't overpay. Yeah.
By helping the economy, are you really hurting the economy? I don't know.
If you buy things on sale, that help brings prices down. So you're both helping the economy by spending money, but not driving up inflation. President's Day is the perfect holiday for our modern age.
Oh, good. But yeah, that's been Fake Presidents.
Fake presidents, Ben.
Fake. That's our show within the show. Fake. Thank you for listening to Fake Presidents. Theme music by Johnny Sadoff. Artwork, as always, by Ann Hecker.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple weeks with a regularly scheduled programming. Should we tell them what we're doing?
Yeah, that way they give people time to catch up if they want to watch.
We're doing the Jack Ryan TV series. We're going to heavy on the third season, a little bit from the first. We'll pay lip service to the other fake presidents, but we go heavy on that third season, so catch up on Jack Ryan. And this will be our official foray into the fake presidencies of Tom Clancy, who has a lot to offer us in that area.
Indeed. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at fake_presidents and on Instagram at fake_presidents. If you have any questions, if you want to tell us about your own fake presidents you'd like to see, you could email us at fakepresidents@gmail.com. You could also please rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell us what you think. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, the rating and reviewing, we usually play it cool. We're like, do what you're going to do. No, do it.
Please do it. Please, come on. And that would be like President's Day is like Christmas for us.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to get us a gift, the gift would be a nice review.
I guess you figured out that my own special interest group, Purity Lovers, has rallied in support of me, Ernest P. Worrell, for president. And when I'm living in the White House, Vern, my cabinet will be full of those guaranteed purity products. And speaking of living in the White House, Vern, I think I'll get Ronnie on the horn and find out where that fuse box is, or if there's any septic tank problems or anything like that. Hail to the chief, he's your buddy and your neighbor.